MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got Nellie Lester. She's the Managing Director of WS & Company, and we're talking about leadership. And although Nellie works with everyone, individuals, companies, entrepreneurs, etc., today we're focusing very much on us as entrepreneurs. And I really want to talk about something I saw in the notes here that you do, is talk about the building of a network to support you as a leader, as in our case, an entrepreneurial leader, mentors, advisors, and what I particularly like is peer groups and accountability groups. So let's talk about those today.
Yeah. They say that it's lonely at the top. And I think entrepreneurs is one of those spaces where you are driving the vision, you're setting the targets, you're managing the finances. So it can be quite lonely. And what we do advise is that for one to be able to have a system of support around them. And this could be in the way of networks that you build. Sometimes we underrate the power of the networks because we are just focused, on running our business. But oftentimes it's the network that can come to one's aid, either in innovating to grow the business faster or in helping support the business to dig deeper onto the things that you do to do them better. So when you talk about peer groups and peer learning, look, some people have got associations to go to, so there is an association of accountants, of architects, of planners, and those are areas where people test each other to see, are we on the same track, what's new, what's going on and the like. And I think for entrepreneurs, it's quite difficult sometimes to find, your tribe, to find people that are like-minded and driving towards the same thing. What we advise the entrepreneurs is to not let that deter them of going out and finding peers of the same, people with the same kind of take. It could be in the way of business, but it could be in certain aspects of your business. Sometimes you might not find in all areas of your business. But for example, if you've got a group that is providing some parts of your business, there could be a start. If I'm buying supplies from XY, I might want to understand, how that particular product gets generated, how it's being imported, if it's being manufactured locally, understand those teams. And that's one way of starting to build your network as an entrepreneur. The other area is thinking about somebody who you can go to as your mirror, because you often have the vision, but life happens, and your vision can start getting blurred, So having somebody who you can sit with and say, look, this is the vision that I set myself, but I'm not so convinced about it these days. That person could be your mirror, to help you restate what your vision was. They could ask you some key questions that could help you re-energize the vision that you have for the organization. Because if you sit on your own, it's often quite easy, that you could get your windscreens getting quite mucky. Yes. So having somebody to mirror that back to you could be quite useful. So it's a confidant, find somebody who's not going to blow your business secrets away, somebody that you trust, and you can reach out to. And the other is also having somebody who could be a mentor. In other words, they've traveled the journey that you've traveled and you've seen them be successful in their business. Again, they might not be doing exactly what you're doing, but they've managed to get a business from the start to, kind of a sizable business going on. There's nothing wrong with approaching somebody and saying, how do you deal with, managing teams? How do you deal with financing? How do you deal with firing or hiring? What's your supply chain mechanism? How do you deal with fraud? Things happen. How did you handle this particular case? So somebody that you can share ideas with is quite helpful, and to allow yourself time to do that. I think often when you're running your own business, you might just be saying, I don't have time, for any of that. But I do think that in the long run, it's helpful to be aware and to allow time to not only speak with your peers, not only have a mentor, importantly, something that we advocate for, not because it's our core business, but to have somebody who is a business coach, that could help you, again, as I said before, see clearly through the vision that you've set up for yourself, somebody who's not judgmental, but could just help you get clarity on what you're doing.
You talk about all that in the life of an entrepreneur is very much you said it's lonely earlier in our conversation, it's lonely at the top. what we find is that entrepreneurs are looking for an accountability partner. They want something, because I'm the CEO of Raiz Corp. Who am I accountable to? Yes, I could say to the shareholders, etc. But the reality is that this is not a listed business. So I don't have a board and a chairman and like a massive. I don't have that.
Yeah.
And like many entrepreneurs, we run the show. And the thing that they crave most is somebody to keep them accountable. Okay. So just maybe as we come towards the end of the show now, let's just talk about accountability partners and what happens when we are kept accountable and it just doesn't feel nice.
Doesn't feel right,
No, when I'm saying that, somebody says, but the last time you said you were going to do 20, but you only did 5. What's going on? And then maybe you don't want the accountability partner, but you should keep them.
No, I think that's why we say having a coach is important, and having a business coach is exactly for those reasons, because that's the person that you say, this is what I want to do. These are the resources I've allocated towards doing them. This is the timeline that I've allocated to be able to do it by. When you meet with this coach of yours, this person that is your confidant, their task is really not to do your work for you. They're really there to help you remain accountable. As you said, you'll be saying, you said you're going to produce 200 widgets, by June 2024. You've only done 100. What's going on? It's not to nitpick at you. It's just to help you say, but Allon, you said you're going to do this. What has happened? How can we help you get back to your targets? So you could say, my suppliers delayed, so what do we do next time so that your suppliers don't get delayed? My staff members got sick, and 2 of them are now at home and not doing anything. How can we manage that risks? What do we do next time, if you befall in with the same kind of issues? So your accountability partner is helping you think ahead on how to de-risk your business in different ways, whether it's targets, whether it's money, whether it's staffing, but somebody that holds you accountable to say, you've seen this coming before, how are you preparing yourself for the next time around? And I think that's a very important person to have in your life as a business owner, somebody that can hold you accountable and help you see clearly again.
That's a wonderful place to end our 2-part series. Nellie, thank you so much for all your insights and I particularly love the way your metaphors and how you paint pictures in my mind. I'm a visual thinker, and as you're speaking, I watched the movie. So a very powerful skill you've got. Thank you, and I hope you, as our viewers, have enjoyed the last 2 sessions or 2 episodes as much as I have, because for me, this whole thing about personal development is incredibly important. My mentor once said to me, as a 20-something-year-old, entrepreneurial success is 99% of what goes on between your ears, 1% good luck, and 10% hard work. And on that note, I'm going to end it there. Do remember, if you think it, write it down and make it a reality.
The Big Small Business Show, proudly sponsored by MTN Business.